The pharmaceutical formulations are required to be stable over the shelf life and should meet the regulatory quality requirements and are required to be safe and effective throughout the shelf life period. To establish the shelf life period, the stability studies are performed. This video will provide you learning regarding how to avoid stability problems in the pharmaceutical formulations. I welcome all the viewers to this informative video and will study the key points which are related to the stability. First of all, we will understand which are the factors affecting the stability. So one of the most important factor is API sensitivity. If API is less stable, then the formulation may be less stable. But there are some chances that we can improve the stability of these less stable APIs through formulation development, through manufacturing processes and container closure systems and storage conditions. So first is the API sensitivity. Second is composition and compatibility. If there is a material or raw material or composition which is responsible for the degradation or incompatibility, then the stability problem may arise. Manufacturing process sensitivity, manufacturing process conditions, or you can say in the environmental conditions, and the hold times may also impact. In process packaging system may also impact the stability. Container closure system and storage conditions are the important points to be considered for the stability. So first is doing the pre-formulation studies. We need to understand what is the sensitivity of the API formulation and how it will behave during the stability. Pre-formulation studies are required to study API properties like solubility, pK, polymorphism, hygroscopicity, and the degradation pathways. Force degradation studies or stress studies are required to be done to understand the impurity formation ways or degradation pathways. Then assess the API excipient compatibility using the techniques like DSC, FTIR, and isothermal stress testing. But this is not only the pre-formulation study way, it is a very vast study. Only some key points I have enlisted here. Also, in the pre-formulation study, polymorphism is required to be studied. Then use of stable and compatible excipients. So from the day one, whenever you are starting the development of the formulation, try to choose the compatible excipients, and this information you can get from the pre-formulation studies. Select the excipient that do not interact chemically or physically with the API. Avoid excipients with high moisture content if the API is hygroscopic or it is moisture sensitive. So this is very important to understand. If you know that from the pre-formulation that basic materials are incompatible, then don't go with the basic materials. Control of environmental factors. You need to protect the formulation and API and excipients from the heat, light, humidity, and oxygen. You can use desiccants, oxygen absorbers, UV protective containers, and controlling the storage and manufacturing environment, like work with the sodium vapor lamp or work under the low RH, low temperature conditions. Limit the water activity. So as we know, water activity means it is a measurement of the free water which can react and can lead to impurity generation. Minimize free water in the formulation. You can use dry granulation or direct compression technique when possible for the formulations like oral solids. Avoid filter binding in the liquid formulation. So test for the drug binding to the filters before finalizing the filtration process, and do it specifically for the low dose or expensive drugs. Maintain appropriate pH. As we know, pH can impact the stability. So choose the optimal pH to enhance the drug stability. Use buffer systems to prevent pH drift over shelf life. Use appropriate packaging. and do the packaging material selection, container closure selection. Select the container closure system that protect against moisture, light and oxygen ingress. You can use desiccants like silica gel molecular sieves. You can use black lined containers or amber color bottles and blisters, and also you can use the oxygen scavengers. Perform container closure integrity CCIT studies and do studies for the extractable leachable in the formulation. It is mainly for the liquid or liquid formulations so that you can choose the best packaging system. Use antioxidants and preservatives. So if required, you can use antioxidants like BST, ascorbic acid and many others to prevent the degradation through the oxidation. You can use preservatives like parabens, benzalkonium chloride to prevent microbial growth in the aqueous system. Accelerated and real-time stability testing. So always perform the real-time stability testing, intermediate stability testing and accelerated stability testing as per the requirements and the product nature. Monitor the batches, stability batches for all the CQAs like appearance, acid degradation products or impurities, microbial load and other critical parameters like disintegration and dissolution. Then hygienic manufacturing and handling practices. This is very important and it is a GMP aspect. So trained personnel should be there for handling and manufacturing practices. Robust documentation and CAPA system. So any deviation in the process can lead to instability. So CAPA system is required. Then regular stability monitoring post market. After approval of the product and when the product is in the market, then also do the post approval stability surveillance and re-evaluate the stability if any changes is there, that is through the SUPAC changes. Changes may be there to the raw materials like APIs. Changes may be there for the some manufacturing processes, specifications and the packaging materials, then site changes and batch size changes also. These are some of the key points to avoid the stability problems in the pharmaceutical formulations. Whenever you are making a risk assessment for stability, start from the API, excipients, formulation, packaging material, process, and then come to the conclusion with stability testing data. Also do pre-formulation studies, evaluate different packaging systems, desiccants, manufacturing processes, and then you can develop the robust pharmaceutical product. Thank you for watching the video and I request you to do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Share these videos with your friends. Thank you.